just dawned on me that you ain't coming back. I've lost my chance to see us find our way back. And in the end, amidst these trying times, I'll always try to find you. I'll lie to you to find the truth that you hold back. So stay with me. You know that I'll follow. I can't breathe. Together we'll fall apart. Stay here right in my arms, and we'll start again. So stay with me. Together we'll fall apart.
Four French drivers at the French Grand Prix trying to win this on the final lap. The three wide again, Guillaume down the inside. Guillaume moves across, they're both in front of Milan and Pouget.
But before you know it, we find ourselves here in the very final race of the competition.
And then they see truck racing and they think, this is crazy, you know, these are 5-ton machines, 1200 horsepower brake.
Oh, look at that switchback. Oh, he's been mugged and a trophy to show off.
Back there, go on board with Ben Gregory now, I love it. 10.5 minutes gone, Senna Lanson tries to go for the race lead.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Well, good evening, everybody. Good evening indeed. Welcome to Chaz Draycott Media and welcome to the WSR World GR86 Series. I'm over the moon to be here in the commentary box and, of course, the broadcast booth for this amazing championship. Wonderful people behind this as well at WSR. I've worked with them for a very, very long time. And a lot of you know by now they make some fantastic championships, do they not? My name is Chaz Draycott. As you've seen by now, I'm probably fed up with the logo already. I will be your broadcaster and commentator, flying solo this season, so I really hope that I can do the business. We've got loads of fun elements to these broadcasts to bring in, and lots of awesome racing to watch. We're going to look at some drivers in just a moment because qualifying is underway. We do not have long of it left to go, if I'm utterly honest with you, so we are actually going to jump straight down and look at the action at the moment. At the very top of the pile at the moment in this gorgeous field of cars, we have Alexander Davidson for Pure Sims Esports, the number 6 machine, currently quickest. This amazing circuit here at Silverstone is going to be a big challenge for these cars and for these drivers as well. So much to think about around this track. And I know that there's going to be a lot of you out there that will feel the pain of the slipstream on this circuit. That can be a humongous challenge. Alex Jenkins is currently second fastest for Fury Simsport at the moment. These guys just taking their time down the back straight maybe to line up for another lap. We have two classes this evening. We have the Pro class and the AM class. Pro are designated by the red windscreen banners and red number boards, and the AMs are the blue windscreen banners and blue number boards. On top of that at the moment, well, it's that little car just hiding around the corner there, which just so happens to be from my team, Spontex CDM Esports. Ed May, good friend of mine, fellow commentator as well, has taken the reins of this machine for this season. There's the Spontex Hedgehog on the bonnet. I'm going to kick his head in for not changing the wheels to white, because that's normally something we run in the team, but still. Flashes the headlights. He knows that we're watching because he often does listen to the broadcasts. But Ed is currently the fastest in the AM class at the moment. Mikel Lees is third for Next Gen Racing with his teammate Liam Silkstone behind in fourth. But would you look at the talent that we have here? Alexander Davidson, Alex Jenkins, Esteban Rodriguez, Naveed Hussein and Simone Persone from Wave Italy Racing Team, Morgan Butler, Matthew Crisp, Michael Evdoka, Pete Newman. Great to have Pete back on my screen again. It's been a while since I've worked with Pete, and he's a real star, bless him. We've got Andy Shield, series admin as well, at WSR, in the WSR branded machine. Lovely livery on this car, actually. I saw it in the replays that I was recording the trailer for. Oh, sorry, the replays when I was recording the trailer, I should say. Jesper Eriksson, Adam Delmont, Matthias Tem, Michael Haflidason. I'm going to get it right at some point. He's in the AM Racing Team machine. A couple of their drivers in this championship. Oh wow, and would you look at that? The bots are already out in force in my Twitch channel. Lovely. Don't you love that? Oh well, that's just how it is. We've got Matt Bunn as well for WSR. He's currently back of the field at the moment, I'm afraid, in 30th place. Ash Sutton, triple British Touring Car champion, is in the race as well. He's not taken to the circuit yet though, by the look of it. We've got the Year 1 cars on our screens as well, just how bright these things are. Colin Sansom for Year 1, running wide out of the right-hander. Very, very tough circuit though here. This is a real challenge, like I say. I commentated here, I pit reported here at the end of 2022, in October it was. I was doing the BRSCC race meeting here, and it is a fantastic track for racing. We've got Alexander Davidson going around the final corner now, so we'll hop on board with him for a lap, shall we? I hope you can hear me over the racket that these wonderful Toyota GR86s make. Going down the Hamilton straight now, in towards Abbey, the first corner on the circuit, skipping that curb on the right-hand side slightly. Maybe a little hint of a lift there from Alex as he goes one way, then the other, through Farm Curve, and then hard on the brakes into Village. Very tough corner, because it doesn't look as tight as it is when you get to it. You know, when you first turn in, it looks like it's going to be a bit wider. Going through what's known as the loop now. Looks like someone has looped it in front of us as well, just for safe measure. And down the legendary Hangar Straight. So many amazing moments here in Formula 1, GT racing, and any other sort of motorsport you can think of. They've all happened here. Looks at the moment like Alexander Davidson is all on his own for a while. He might have slightly backed out actually here on this lap. He definitely has. He's coming down Stowe now, long right-hander, before making his way down Vale and then into the club chicane at the end of the lap here on the newly revised Silverstone. say newly, it's been about 13 years now. It is a very tricky part of the circuit here. As you can see, these cars aren't the fastest things in the world. You know, they're not Formula 1 pace, they're not GT3 pace, but they provide amazing racing. I always say in racing cars that the slower the machine, the better the racing, because the drivers have more time to think, more time to react. It's great to watch. It really is. At the moment, we have 14 cars in the AM class, 17 in the Pro class, so a nice split between the field. David Ayres is here in the chat. Not seen your name for a while, David. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. We have the Alcantech cars, apparently, with their strong livery. And, yeah, Jakub Szymanski in what looks like an old RAF. I'm going to say Hurricane, because I don't think Spitfires ran with those roundels on them, to be honest. I think they might have done. But I think it's a Hurricane livery. Here's the Venus Semantics team. This is actually a real-life racing team. I believe they race in the Silver Lake C1 Challenge, IRL, as we say. Lovely bright livery on this car. Very striking indeed. Now you will see this a little bit tonight, I have to admit. The rear wheels on this car, they seem to clip through the floor in a really strange way. And it's a big shame because this is one hell of a little race car. But look, you'll just see the rear wheels do look like they've got a puncture all the time, unfortunately. And it's not something that there's been a patch to fix yet or anything that is having anything done about it, I'm afraid. So hopefully we see that soon. And, well, hopefully Marcus Adams sees just how wide he's run very soon as well. David Ayres is saying that he's supporting the Result clothing teams who are out here tonight. Roger Morton is one of those drivers for Result. Can't miss his car either, to be honest, can you? The number 92 machine. We've got Safeguard by Result as well. Carl Hardy driving that machine. And by the look of it, in the top ranks in the Pro class, we do not have any of the Result clothing drivers, actually. Just trying to see if we've got any others. Maciej Sakovic, you must know. you honestly really need to just see what we're seeing right now, and that's Maciej Sakovic in the AM class. Now, that tells you just how potent this field is and just how strong the pace will be in this championship, because Maciej Sakovic won 2 championships on the trot with leagues that I ran. Sorry, he won the first league that I ran, actually, the BSR Kia Club Series back in the day. And he is no slouch at all. He's a very clever young man, is Maciej. He actually won my Chaz Draycott Media European Touring Car Championship as well, actually. We did that in the Kia as well, just in 2021. That was a hell of a lot of fun. But good to see Maciej back out there tonight. Matty Wild has gone fastest in the AM class. Ed May has now slipped down to 4th. Alex Davidson still fastest in the Pros. And the time keeps on ticking. Hello everybody in the YouTube chat. Good to see you all. Damien Harris in there as well. Good to see you, my friend. Good luck to my Wave Italy teammates, he says. Hello to you too, sir. White Van Gaming in the chat. He says, I was informed the GR86s encourage more chaotic racing than the Formula Renault 3.5s. To see it with my own eyes. Well, let's see. Let's see, eh? David Ayres calling me a young sir. Whew. I'll take that, Dave. I'll take that, mate. I'm 30 now. I'm not feeling young at all. But still, alive and kicking, and that's the important thing, mate. I'm here to enjoy myself, and I must thank WSR and Andy Shield for reaching out and getting me on to broadcast this championship, because I reckon we're going to have a lot of great fun together using the SDK Gaming live timing software with an overlay customised by yours truly for this championship. I have tested as many elements of it as I can, so I do apologise if anything goes wrong. And would you look at that, Morgan Butler, you naughty boy. Second fastest for... Well, he's actually racing as a privateer for this championship because there's 2 car teams. So we have Pure Sims SimLab, which is Esteban Rodriguez and Pete Newman. Pure Sims Esports is Michael Evdoka and Alexander Davidson. So Morgan, unfortunately, due to odd numbers, has been left as the 5th driver, but still, he's doing a solid job. Thanks, of course, to our series sponsors as well. Butt Kicker, you will have seen their advert at the start of the stream, and Mr. Hedge iRacing Photography as well. Mr. Hedge, I need your logo, my friend, because I do not seem to have one. Either that or it's not working on the overlay right now, so I do apologise for that, mate. But if you do let me know, Adam, then we will sort it out. Maciej Sakovic has actually gone quicker than a couple of the, well, one of the pro drivers in qualifying at the moment. The little red and blue strips next to their name on the left-hand side show you basically what class the drivers are in. You can see there's only about 7/10 between the 2 classes as well. Look how close the field is. 21 cars covered by less than a second. Carl Hardy is only just over a second down. on pole position as Pete Newman now goes second fastest for Pure Sims SimLab. That makes it a 1-2-3 for Pure Sims cars, effectively. Alexander Davidson, Pete Newman, Morgan Butler. That means Alex Jenkins is now fourth fastest for Fury Simsport, and he is the leader of these two cars. I was expecting to jump on board there with the following car as Alex moves out of the way of his teammate. That will be Matthias Tem that's just gone through in front of us, and it is indeed. He now comes down Vale into the club chicane. Aren't these fantastic looking little race cars? I love them. Absolutely love them. Little hop, skip and a jump through the first part of the chicane in the shiny green machine. Around the final corner, just guiding it through as gently as possible. Keep the speed up. Crosses the line, and does he improve? It does not look like it. A 1:14.413 for Matthias Tem. His fastest is a 1:39. Sorry, 1:39? No, it's definitely not a 39. It's a 13 as well. Oh, no. No. That was Ian Manners, I believe, getting very held up there by the Fury Simsport car. Unfortunately, not quite getting out of the way in time. We've got a very international grid, though, which is great to see. We've got Michael Hafliderson for AM Racing Team in the thick of it. He's from Sweden. We've got another Swedish driver, Jesper Eriksson. We've got drivers from America, Canada, over here in the UK, Italy, France. It's a fantastic grid, really is. We've got Christoph Karekis as well, a privateer in this series. You can see the car skittering about on the brakes there as Navid Hussein goes third fastest for Wave Italy Racing Team. The two of these cars working together, looking absolutely gorgeous as well. It's got his teammate there, Simone Personi, behind him. Listen to this thing growl away. Curbs getting very loud indeed. Hope the levels and everything are all right, by the way. Do let me know if anything needs to change, everybody. And it's great to have you all here in the YouTube chat and saying hello. Do let us know what your thoughts are, whether you have anybody that you're cheering for this evening, what you expect for the races. But it looks like that man there that's sat trackside, Alex Davidson, is going to be on pole position for the very first race of the season. Now, I'm hoping that my grid graphic works, because it's something I was having a lot of trouble with no matter what I messed about with. But I'm always going to be honest here, and I'll open up to any mistakes if I make them. So please do bear with me. I'm just looking to see if anyone else is completing a lap, actually. Michael Avdoka is just about to cross the line round the final corner now. He goes, and no, it was a 1. Oh, he did improve, actually. A 1:13.71, but he did not gain a position in doing that. Alcantech NHR's Matthew Crisp round the final corner, all over the curb there. And the Canadian driver is Alex Jenkins of Fury Simsport, so there you go. The chat can know of that one. And no improvement there for Matthew Crisp either, so I believe that is going to be the end of that one. 3 races each night. Oh, actually, Adam Delmont is on a lap here. Apologies for Next Gen Racing around the final corner. I've watched Adam race for a long time. Since I first started commentating, he used to race in MX-5s for Excite. He crosses the line, and there is no improvement there for Adam, unfortunately. There's the Silverstone wing in all of its blurry glory. But yeah, 3 races tonight. We have a spinny wheel as well for the reverse grid between races, which should be a lot of fun. And that will determine what the grid is going to be between said races. I'll just give you a quick show of what that looks like right now. Actually, there is the wheel ready to go a little bit later on, just in case you wanted to see it. That's courtesy of Wheel of Names, for which we are very grateful. But now it is time to get ourselves on the grid, I believe. And yes, it is. Let's bring up the grid for the first time then this season. Alex Davidson will start on pole position with Pete Newman alongside him. And behind them, and on the second row of the grid, is Navid Hussein and Morgan Butler. Then it's Alex Jenkins and Esteban Rodriguez. Jesper Eriksson and Simone Personi make up row 4. Jean-Baptiste Macida and Michael Hafliderson are on row 5. Matthew Crisp and Christoph Karekis are next up, ahead of Andy Shiel and Michael Avdoka. Then it's Adam Delmont, Matthias Tem, and Monsieur Sutton, I do not believe, will be taking to the grid. We're just going to get this changed to overall, sorry, because it's seemingly split them by classes, because it's Delmont, Sakovic, then Tem. James Neve is in 18th place ahead of Matty Wilde and Mikkel Lees. Then we have Ed May and Carl Hardy on row 11. Nathan Davis and Liam Silkstone are on the 12th row of the grid ahead of Marcus Adams, Ian Manners, Roger Morton and Matt Bunn. Jakob Schmansky and Colin Sansom will round out your grid. So we're going to look then to our pole sitter, Alex Davidson, all the way over there on the Sir Lewis Hamilton Straight. This is going to be a hell of a lot of fun. What are you all thinking, everybody? Who are you cheering on? And who do you think will gain this first race win of the season? Will Alex Davidson be able to keep that pace up? Will he be able to outdo everybody else, considering the slipstream that's going to be involved here as well? There's a lot of work to be done on a racetrack like this. The last car slots into place. That's Matthias Tem in 17th position. And we should be all good to go. We're waiting for, I think it's still waiting for Ash Sutton's car to pop into place. He would be at the back of the grid, but I don't think he's been able to make it into the race. So we have about 15 seconds left. The drivers will continue to rev the engines and get prepared to go. There's the view from Ed May, a bit further down in the order. 21st overall, 5th in his class. But now it's going to be go time. And for the first time this season, the World GR86 Series by WSR from Silverstone here on Chaz Draycott Media, sponsored by Buttkicker, is underway, and the smoke and the wheel spin begins. But look at that, there's only a few cars that really creep away from the line. Well, Pete Newman gets a good start. There's a big shuffle in the middle there between Esteban Rodriguez and Naveed Hussein. Looks tidy at the front. What's it going to be like in the middle of the pack? We've got a couple of cars maybe scraping the tyres slightly and brushing out sideways, but Pete Newman looking very good at the front of the field. It seems like there was a car around. Oh, it's Ed May. Ed May is off at the back of the pack, and he's dropped down a long way in the Spontex CDM Esports car. 3 wide here is, oh, around goes the 73 of Nathan Davis. Davis was involved, and Manners gets into him as well. The big Tiger machine doesn't think that's great, does it? Down the back straight for the first time we go, though. 20-minute races here in this championship. Look at the slipstreaming going on here. Pete Newman leading the way currently, but right behind him now, Davidson down the inside with Morgan Butler there as well. These three, you can imagine, will probably work together in these early stages. Maciej Sakovic is leading in the AM class. He's right in the thick of it, though. He's got cars in front and behind him. Car in front right now is Adam Delmont, as there's been a change for the lead. Naveed Hussein and Esteban Rodriguez as well. Oh, there's contact in front. That was the number 12 car getting involved. That's Simone Persone having a big old whack in the side. Who was he smashing into there? I think that was Michael Evdoka. They remain side by side around the final corner at the end of the lap. And all of the lap times come sliding in on the left. But at the front, it's Alex Davidson ahead of Morgan Butler, Pete Newman, and then Jesper Eriksson up into 4th place. He started 7th on the grid in this one, so he's certainly going well in the opening stages. And the Force Esports car all over the back of Pete Newman, very close to the back of him. Looks like Nathan Davis has had a problem and he's gone into the pit lane, unfortunately. Look how wide they run there, out of the right-hander onto the back straight. Down the hanger straight once more we go. It feels like it takes forever in these cars, but that's the beauty of it, is cars like this, they're not ridiculously fast, so you've got a lot of time to think about stuff. Let's have a look back at Ed May, though. This is what happened to Ed at the very start. So he's going through turn 1. Oh, he's clipped the curb and it's just slowly gone around on him. Very slowly gone around on him. And then I think it was Nathan Davis that then made the muck up into here. He's just got a little bit deep, and oh, as he changes down, it just goes around on him, and then suddenly Ian Manners is left with absolutely nowhere to go, unfortunately. Great circuit for racing, though, this, and it's always going to be lively. Now, this is literally the battle for the lead in the AM class. Maciej Sakovic ahead of James Neve, the privateer in this series, all over the back of him in car number 7. Listen to the curbs rumbling away, very, very loud. Hard onto the brakes then, into the tight right-hander. Maciej has got himself in not a bad situation here, to be honest. You could be thinking about attacking in front of him, but then you'd have to worry about the car behind you trying to make a move as well, and obviously that's the position at the moment. That was close in front. That was Simone Persone with Michael Evdoka chasing him down. There's change further up as well, as Esteban Rodriguez and Jesper Eriksson are having a bit of a play here. The Swede on the outside and Esteban down the inside. Oh, there was a check-up, and Jenkins gets headbutted. Jenkins gets a hit from the rear. I'm not quite sure who that was that clipped him there. I think maybe it was his teammate, you know. Apologies, it was definitely not his teammate, was it? His teammate was much further down the order. But I think maybe Christoph Karekis was involved in that. Let's have a look here. So Matthew Crisp, it would have been Crispy. Sorry, Crispy was the one that gave him a tap. So they all checked up early, And unfortunately, Jenkins was just tapped that tiny bit. And off he goes. Nothing too untoward by Matthew, but still, I know that doesn't make it any better for Alex Jenkins. Davidson leads though, and as the man that started on pole position, he would be certainly expected to be the guy winning this race. But it's all down to how you survive the slipstream. Here's Christoph Kurekis. Oh God, nearly turning Hafliderson in front of him. Tries to dig the nose in through there. You could see him just stabbing it in, throwing the car down the inside. Down the back straight once again we go. Under the bridge now. You can see he's got a little bit of an overspeed going on there. Jenkins has dropped down the order again here. He's gone flying down, I'm afraid, right to the back of the field as Kurekis goes down the inside. Oh, that was naughty there by Hafliderson. Just gives him a bit of a kiss on the way through. What on earth has happened to Alex Jenkins here? This is going through the loop. He's going to go left and then right. Is he going to get caught out by the car in front on the brakes? Oh, dearie me, he does. He gets into the back of the car in front. And there will be fury in that regard. That's the thing, it's difficult when you're the car trying to make your way through the order and you're in the, let's just say, the slower class on paper. It's hard not to run into the back of people, and it's easy to lose your patience in those situations. Here's JB Masida for Team Mad. Just did the fastest lap of the race, did JB on that last lap, Jean-Baptiste. The Frenchman flying at the moment. Sakovic still leads in the AM class, and we're already a quarter of the way through the race somehow. Certainly flies by, but look at them all running wide and using all of the circuit there before they head onto the back straight. Flying down now, up through the gears we go. Excuse me, I don't know if you heard that window noise there, but there was for some reason a massive, massive windows noise. I could not figure out what it was. JB Masida though, holding on well in 7th place at the minute, and just in front of all of this we've got Naveed Hussein ahead of Esteban Rodriguez for Pure Sims Simlab. That's 4 Pure Sims cars in the top 5, and then Naveed doing his bit for Wave Italy Racing Team. Down the start finish straight we go. Sounds fantastic on board, doesn't it, this car? Sounds absolutely wonderful. One way then the other through this first part of the circuit. Not easy to get it right at all. It's all about managing the weight transfer so well in a car like this, because it is one of those cars that goes around very slowly. You know, if it has a moment, it takes its time with it. It doesn't give you a sort of a sudden snap without warning, as, oh no, Jakub Szymanski has had a minute in the Alcantec NHR car. He is right though, they do have one of the best liveries out there, don't they? He's having a big bounce and a wobble over the curb. Ed May has recovered up to 23rd place outright, as there's big battles going on up here. Look at this, Andy Scheel in the thick of it, with Maciej Sakovic in the AM class, spoiling it amongst the pros. This is great fun to watch. Andy Scheel down the inside, him and Maciej have raced together for so long. As in there as well goes Alex Jenkins, I believe. No, it's Matthias Tem, apologies, we're actually looking at Matthias as well. Come on, Chaz. Car number 3, 3rd in this group, although there's a big gap all of a sudden. He's flashing away at Maciej. He's probably fuming, thinking, why is this AM in front of us here? He's then got Adam Delmont right behind. Tem feels the need to move over to the right, either to attack Maciej or defend from Delmont, and Delmont says, all right then, if you can't do that, or if I can't do that, I'm going to go around the outside of you. Doesn't make it work through the first part of the corner, but through Farm Curve he gets a decent run actually. Hard onto the brakes into Village as Tem nearly runs wide, but again suddenly you get that second wind as the car turns in. It's amazing the grip this thing has at the front, and look at that, Delmont's actually through. He's got past Matthias Tem very convincingly as they go onto the back straight once again. Behind them as well, Matty Wild for DCW Racing. Lovely to see this livery on this car as well, great looking machine. He's got Carl Hardy ready to pounce like Tiger behind him in the Safeguard by Result machine. To the brakes they go through Stowe. Lovely green flash there from the Fury Simsport car ahead. Ian Manners has unfortunately had an issue here. He's down the inside of, that is Jakub Szymanski, as he goes in down the inside of the Fury car. It's just going to bounce on the curb and go around. The outer wheel grip in this machine is incredible, as Matty Wilde seems to have just found out as well, actually. He's just had a bit of a spin. Let's have a look back at what's happened here. Is it going to be a repeat of that? When this car first came to the service, you were able to just turn at a very slow speed. Oh, he's just nudged into the car in front, and unfortunately the 73 couldn't quite get out of the way of him there and couldn't stop himself turning him around. But I was going to say, when this car first came to the service, you were able to just drive very slowly, turn as hard as you can, left or right, and just floor it. And the car would roll itself over with that much grip. It was impressive beyond words, to be honest. It was more impressive than frustrating. Davidson still leading from Morgan Butler. Morgan's been working really hard on his driving and his cinematography as well, actually. And it certainly shows. He's really up there with these guys now. Esteban Rodriguez at the back of this is making sure that Naveed Hussein remains the meat in a Pure Sims SimLab bread sandwich. It's a very convoluted route of getting that one out there. I do apologise. More movement further down as Ed May has a battle here with Mikel Lees on his hands. Ed going this way and that way. Mikel just figuring out where the hell he wants to go. Oh, that sounds like a car off, and that, I can tell you, is Nathan Davis for Joy Sport. Now, Nathan's actually a lap down on a lot of these cars that are going past him right now, so he's having to get out of the way, unfortunately, but he just had a bit of a moment there at the final corner, maybe too much over the sausage curb. It's very easy to do this. See how he gets on. Just a little bit there, yeah. So easy to do that. So easy. So hopefully Nathan doesn't take that one on the chin, but he continues on. Davidson leads then, Butler second, Newman third, then Hussein and Rodriguez in fifth place. Then we have Jesper Eriksson, Matthew Crisp, John Baptiste Masida, Christoph Karekis and Michael Hefliderson. Other than the race leader, he's the only car in the top 10 that is currently where he started this race. Looking back into the AM class, we've got Maciej Sakovic leading the way. He's got a couple of positions back to James Neve, the privateer. He's then got Marcus Adams, Carl Hardy and Matty Wilde, who complete the top 5 in the class. Then it's Mikel Lees, and, well, it was, as what on earth has happened there? Big old moment indeed. Mikel Lees drops down, and all of a sudden, Ed May overtakes Mikel Lees. We're going to get a good view of it here, actually, from on board with the Spontex car, so Mikel goes down the inside. Oh, he loses it, then goes the other way. It looked like there was contact, actually, from the other angle, but no. And then Ed takes advantage of Matty Wilde. Boy, it was wild, wasn't it? Still position changing going on here for Matty. More position changes going on up front as well as Karekis and Hefliderson get together. Matt Bunn is trying to go down the inside of his namesake here. Matty Wilde, as through goes the WSR admin. Good to see Matt Bunn back out on track again as well. I do love Bunny. We've had a long time together in sim racing as Colin Sansom absolutely headbutts Matty Wilde. Oh, Matty's had a lap or two to forget. As in the background now, Liam Silverstone sideways as well. God, this is kicking off. Let's have a look here. What happened to Matty Wilde then? Was there a gap down the inside? Because, I mean, Morton sent it, to be fair. He made his intentions clear, but... oh, it was... sorry, it was Colin Sansom. Apologies. It was Roger Morton that apparently overtook him, and that's where the replay took me. Boy, oh boy. Very busy indeed. And David, I'm apologising now if he's if James Neve is listed as a privateer. I will get that changed for you, my friend. It's the work guard by result team, is it? I'll do this on the fly now, just for you, mate. I'll get that changed for you. The overlay will disappear and then reappear again. And just like that, James Neve, work guard by result. There you go, mate. Now, don't take requests. This isn't BBC Radio 2. And I'm not going to get kicked off the air for expressing my opinions either. This isn't match of the day. Anyway, Jesper Eriksson, he's certainly hoping that Esteban Rodriguez gets kicked off the circuit in a minute because he is grinding away at that rear bumper, isn't he? They're such cute-looking little cars, these, but sometimes from the right angle they can look very menacing from the front. Michael Evdoka is the car at the back of this train here. He's got a great view in front of him, look. He's got a little bit of daylight between himself and Christoph Karekis, actually. As they head down the start-finish straight again. It's a new personal best for Naveed Hussain on that lap. So he's continuing to put fast times in. He's actually got a second and a half over that train of cars, so he's got a little bit of breathing room in mind. Let's see whether he makes this work completely over the course of the race, or over the course of the evening at least. We're nearly 3/4 of the way through this race right now, and Alex Davidson, well, he's starting to pull away a little bit now. He's looking very, very potent. He was 0.2 of a second quicker than Morgan Butler on that last lap, and he continues to open up the advantage now. It's a 13.68 for Davidson last time, while Morgan did a 13.85, 13.44 by Naveed Hussain. There was 13.6s from further back in the pack as well. Jean-Baptiste Masida did one 13.5 by Avdoka. He's down in 10th place. Great racing all the way through the pack though. And this epic train of cars looks beautiful together, doesn't it? That blimp is very far away. I do apologise. I had changed that, but it seems like, yeah, it didn't get saved. But look at this. Look at this 6-car train going through the final couple of corners now. Christophe Karekis there in the orange, white and green machine, chasing down Jean-Baptiste Masida, and then Matthew Crisp, and then Esteban Rodriguez, and then Jesper Eriksson, who is currently in 5th position in this race. Got Michael Avdoka just at the bottom of his shot there, just nearly hidden by the timing tower. There's going to be a lot of mind games going on here into the final stages of this race as they all plan how they're going to use the slipstream around the final corners and into the final moments. This is Marcus Adams, unfortunately, having a minute for Wieners Semantics. A little bit out of shape, as, oh, it just gets on the power. And again, these cars are very soft, you know, you can see them warble around quite a lot. It's one of those race cars that gives you a lot of visual body language. You can see what the car is doing. There's a lot of body language going on here, though, because look at this at the front. Jesper Eriksson trying to hold off Esteban Rodriguez, who's showing them what he can do round the outside at Stowe. Surely he's not going to make that work, but he's carried the speed. Squeezes Jesper to the inside. There's a bit of a door bang on the exit. Jesper's leaving him as much room as he can, though. And down the inside goes Esteban Rodriguez. Is he going to make it work? They both push way too deep into the club chicane. One way, then the other. Do they leave each other room? They do, and Rodriguez gets the run. Round the outside goes Matthew Crisp. Now they're nearly 3 wide behind as well. Avdoka down the inside of Masida. They've got to move around and give space somewhere. Karekis comes over to the right. Locks wheels for Avdoka as well. Fantastic fun, great entertainment. They're still 2x2 as they go around the first corner now. Right through Abbey. Left into Farm Curve. And then hard onto the brakes into Village, and look at that, Jesper chucks it up the inside. Avdoka scares the life out of Karekis as well. Through the loop, over the little crest at the left-hander, hard onto the brakes, into the right, nearly contact with the back of Jesper's car. These still got to be so careful. Jesper is off, he's got a tap and he's sideways, then comes back on, and look at that, through the middle. Not Personi, sorry, Hefliderson comes through and says, thank you very much. I'll take that, sunshine. As, oh, goodness me, Alexander Davidson. Oh, Alex Davidson's got a shifter issue. The race leader has had a problem, and Alex Davidson is suddenly... Let's have a look. He's in 3rd gear, 4th gear. That's almost like his clutch has kicked in. Oh my goodness me, that's devastating. There has been an issue for Michael Hefliderson, so we're going to stick with this. This is still on a replay. Side by side in front there, Karekis and Avdoka. Hefliderson trying to stick with them as best he can. Oh, that's dangerous, Michael. That's dangerous, Michael. Mikey, no. No, Michael, no. Oh, he's over the curb, and he's done that to himself, I'm afraid. He needs to be careful about the rejoin as well. But Alex Davidson seemingly now back up to full chat. Oh, it sounded like he had another issue there, actually. It sounded like it hit the revs really hard. Very intriguing, but that does mean my old mate Morgan Butler leads this race. I'm going to remain unbiased, but obviously I'm very happy for him. Fantastic stuff for Morgan. We've got Carr off, unfortunately. It's Carl Hardy. He's off down at Village. Lights up the rears and gets going again. Ian Manners might take advantage of that. But we've only got a minute and a half left to go here at Silverstone, and there's going to be this lap that they're just about to start, and then one more. Naveed Hussain's currently 3rd with Pete Newman and Morgan Butler right in front. Then we've got this train, Alexander Davidson, Esteban Rodriguez, Matthew Crisp and Jean-Baptiste Masida. It's been broken up a little bit after that battle earlier on. Karekis and Avdoka have dropped back slightly. Sakovic still leading in the AM class. He's been supreme so far in this race. Continues to do a beautiful, beautiful job. So then, just looking to see if there's anybody that's really doing any standout lap times at the moment. It doesn't seem like there's anyone that is really busting a gut to properly get up there and making a massive difference at least. But still, they continue on. And so do we as well here on Chaz Draycott Media. If you are enjoying the broadcast so far, please do consider subscribing as well. I really appreciate it. I don't just do these broadcasts as well, but I do a lot of YouTube videos and YouTube content of all sorts, documenting my travels and my commentary ventures from all around the world. There will be more of that this year as well, I'm glad to say. Feisty Martini saying, I shall be banned. I shall not be banned. Please. Please, Feisty. Morgan Butler has started the last lap of the race now. The clock has hit 20 minutes. And car 33 leads the way from his teammate Pete Newman, both from Pure Sims anyway. I see, Feisty. I've got the chat on Restream over here, so it shows me all platforms. Feisty Martini's over on the Twitch channel saying that I shall be banned, but he means the bot that was in there. And hopefully the bot is banned, to be honest with you. Look at this quartet then. Down the back straight once more. What's the gap like at the very front of the field, though? Is Morgan Butler getting caught up enough by these guys to have a change? I was teammates with Morgan Butler and Pete Newman a long time ago in the World GT Championship, driving in the Audi R8 for CQR Club before it was Pure Sims. Only 2 more corners to go, though, for Morgan Butler. This is the very first race of the season in the World GR86 Series. Pete Newman looks down the inside. He wants to take glory first time round. Morgan gives him the room. They're side by side. There's a door bang into the chicane. Morgan has to get over the curb. Pete Newman's going to run out wide. And is there going to be a move by Hussein down the inside? I think Naveed's going to do it. There's contact between the teammates. They're sideways, and Hussein takes the win. Naveed Hussein wins. The civil war between Newman and Butler. Pure Sims teammates have contact over the line. And Naveed Hussein takes the first win of the season. Wow, oh wow, that's going to go down like a cup of cold sick at Pure Sims. Maciej Sakovic takes the win in the AM class. James Neve finishes in second. Ed May back on the podium after having a spin on the very first corner, but Naveed Hussein takes the win. Wow, oh wow, that is amazing. Let's have a look at how this unfolded then. We'll go back on board with Naveed, sorry. And well, Pete tried the move. Down the inside, Morgan defended it hard. The two of them runs, well, Pete bounces over the curb, runs slightly wide. Morgan has to come back in it. Naveed just times that to perfection. Absolutely times that to perfection, doesn't he? Down the inside of Morgan, there's not enough room for all 3 of them, and it completely goes to pot behind him, and Naveed Hussein becomes the first race winner of the season. Well, well, well. Like I say, that is not going to go down well at all in the Pure Sims camp, unfortunately, but that's just part of how all of this works. What we're going to do very quickly now is have a look at the reverse grid wheel. So we're going to get this a spin in, and then we're going to give the admins what the reverse grid is going to be. What do you all reckon? What do you reckon? Any guesses? Any guesses? Well, we're going to have 20 cars reversed on this one. A lovely large reverse grid at least. And then we're going to have a look back at the results of that race, shall we? Let's go over them and see exactly how that all finished. We'll go through it in the overall standings as well, so we'll have a look back at how it all panned out completely. Let's have a look then. Naveed Hussein takes the win. Alexander Davidson. Oh my goodness me, what happened to Morgan Butler and Pete Newman in the overall result? Wow. So they really have been kicked in the teeth there, to say the least, of these boys. Naveed Hussein then takes the win. Alexander Davidson somehow recovers to second. Esteban Rodriguez third. Matthew Crisp is fourth. Jean-Baptiste Maceda fifth. Ahead of Michael Avdoka, Christoph Karekis, Jesper Eriksson, Simone Personi and Adam Delmont rounds out the 10. Andy Shield finishes 11th. Maciej Sakovic is the highest placed AM in 12th. ahead of Matthias Tem, Michael Hafliderson, James Neve and Alex Jenkins. Ed May completes the AM podium ahead of Mikael Lees. Then we have Marcus Adams and then Matt Bunn. Jakub Szymanski next up in 21st. Roger Morton 22nd ahead of Ian Manners. And then Pete Newman and Morgan Butler must have got penalties because they're 47 seconds down off the lead. And Matty Wilde and Carl Hardy 26th and 27th. Colin Sansom classified 28th, and then the drivers one lap down or more were Nathan Davis, Liam Silkstone and Ash Sutton did not take the start. Wow, oh wow, plenty to look at, plenty to think about there. But there's going to be a quick ad break here now on Chaz Draycott Media while we get the next race of the night underway. Everybody, hope you really enjoyed that one. Please do consider subscribing. It's a lot of time and effort that goes into making these broadcasts what they are, especially as a single man doing this, you know, a one-man band. Anyway, enough grovelling. I hope you enjoy the adverts, everybody, and we'll be back with you very, very soon. See you in a bit.
Four French drivers at the French Grand Prix trying to win this on the final lap. The three wide again, Guillaume down the inside. Guillaume moves across, they're both in front of Milan and
But
Pouget.
before you know it, we find ourselves here in the very final race of the competition.
And then they see truck racing and they think, this is crazy, you know, these are 5-ton machines, 1200 horsepower brake. Oh, look at that switchback. Oh, you can look, and a terrific go out. Ben Gregory now, I love this. 10.5 minutes gone. Stena Lanson tries to go for the race lead.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
the time, 'cause I wanna freeze this moment. Make it mine, hold you close. Now my heart's wide open. When I'm with you, suddenly I feel no pain. Do you make it go away? Do you make it? Wanna freeze this moment, make it mine, hold you close. Now my heart's wide open. When I'm with you, suddenly I feel no pain. Do you make it go away? Do you make it?
Well, I hope you enjoyed that one, everybody. That was an amazing first race, was it not? I've just had to go and cool down for just a moment. The guys are just getting the next session set up, so we will be back live in just a few minutes' time. And then we'll get the second race of the night underway here in the World GR86 Series. Enjoy the drop. Hello again, everybody. Chaz Draycott here for the World GR86 series by World Sim Racing. Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. That first race was a belter, wasn't it? With an amazing finish at the end. We've had 20 cars reversed on the grid for this second race of the evening, and right now we just have the practice session, effectively the warm-up session, just underway. There's cars on track, putting the times in. Not everybody out there at the moment, though. Just had to reset the session to get everything exactly how we wanted it. But two drivers that'll be fuming after that one driving with the red mist will be Morgan Butler and Pete Newman, both drivers from the stable of Pure Sims. And they have a lot of work now to do in this next race because they both finished outside of the top 20, so it's not like they're going to benefit in any way from the reverse grid. But it was a great battle all the way to the end. Pete wanted to take the glory in the final moments. He just ran wide slightly over that curb, and the contact here and there and the compromised position that he put them both in, unfortunately lost out in the long run, and it was an amazing win by Naveed Hussain who came through to take that victory. Looks like we've got everybody back though. The practice session is just about to come to an end, and all of the cars will now disappear. The crowds will reset, the weather will go for a few clicks, and we'll be ready for the second race of the evening here at Silverstone. Hope you're looking forward to it. I certainly am. I loved that first one, and I think we're going to have a lot more fun in this one as well. Starting on pole position, almost like it's a fix. Matt Bunn, WSR, the admin on pole position. Marcus Adams alongside him. Then it's Mikael Leeson, Ed May, Alex Jenkins and James Neve. Wow, they're gridding up fast. Michael Hafliderson, Matthias Tem, Magic Sakovic, Andy Scheel, Adam Delmont, Simone Pisoni, Jesper Eriksson, Christoph Karekis, Michael Avdoka, Jean-Baptiste Masida, Matthew Crisp, Esteban Rodriguez, Alexander Davidson, Naveed Hussain, Jakub Szymanski, Roger Morton, Ian Manners, then Pete Newman behind him, Morgan Butler, Matty Wilde, Kyle Hardy, Colin Sansom, Nathan Davis and Liam Silkstone will round out your 30 cars. You can see the field large in number, ready to go, and already the second race of the night here in the World GR86 series from Silverstone, sponsored by Butt Kicker, is underway, and there's not a great start by Mikael Lees on the second row of the grid. Bunny absolutely disappears off up the road. Look at that, Michael Hafliderson through the third row of the grid there, looking fantastic as he makes it 3 wide with Ed May. Bit of contact in front almost there as the Wieners car gets a bit of a nudge on the way through. Looks like everyone keeping it nice and tidy at this point, though maybe not, as Hafliderson moves across on the inside of Ed May. Don't think he knew that Ed was still there. A bunch of cars running very deep into Village. Oh, it's very tasty indeed. Let's have a look here. They're 4 wide further up there. That's the two Fury cars coming together. Fury SimSport cars into one another. Still 4 wide as Karekis goes through the middle. And in there is Jesper Eriksson side by side with Karekis. Oh, they've got to be so careful here. That's Michael Avdoka in the Pure Sims car in the thick of it. Someone's got to slow down in front as well. That is Magic Sakovic. Team Mad, he won the AM class in the first race of the day. Look at this lot, still 4 wide. Michael Avdoka's in the middle of it. He's got Matthias Tem to his right-hand side. Somehow they slot in front of the number 12 there of Simone Pisoni, but there's a little bit more argy-bargy further down. Matthew Crisp is going to get a good view of this, at least if we look at the rear. Maybe not. A little bit of a kiss to the wing mirror. Mercedes says thank you very much. That's Esteban Rodriguez just behind now for Pure Sims Sim Lab. No, it's not. He's on the outside. That's... oh, who on earth is that? Morgan Butler and Pete Newman involved in this. That's Delmont getting a shove in the rear from Morgan. The battle carries on in front, though. Flipping heck, this is busy stuff down the inside. That's Matthew Crisp. Matthias Tem involved in this as well. Good Lord, this is tasty, tasty racing. And this isn't the half of it, because look at this lot further up as well. This is for second. Sorry, this is for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. Amazing racing already. Everybody not leaving anything on the table. Straight out of the blocks. Down the inside goes Christoph Karekis. Michael Avdoka's stuck in this one still as well. There's been a move for the lead as Neve has now got the lead, and Hafliderson actually is just holding off Matt Bunn for the moment. Wow. Matthias Tem's off on the grass. He moves all the way over to the right, makes sure that he squeezes Esteban Rodriguez to the right-hand side. Let's go on board with him. You might see a Pure Sim Lab car come through down the inside in just a second. That's Matthew Crisp just in front of us. You can see a lot of 2 wide action up there. Matthias throws it in. He's sideways, just manages to catch it. Oh, does he? Oh, the car really steps out of shape there. That wasn't kosher at all. Matthias is a very exciting driver. He's been racing in the Sim Racing Magazine GT4 Challenge, which I've been broadcasting as well. He's a boy that knows how to get his elbows out, as Marcus Adams says no. I'm alright. I'm alright, because look at the rabble going through. Everybody piling on through. He's got the best view now. If there is an incident, though, I can tell you that for free, because he's going to sit here and think, yeah, I'd rather not be involved in all of that, thank you. Let's have a look at it. Tem is still in there in the green car. He's got Naveed Hussein, race 1 winner, right in front of him. Somehow they've all merged back into single file. Michael Hafliderson has taken the race lead. We'll have a look back at how he did that for you. He's gone past James Neve, going into the left-hander, going through Farm Curve, into Village. Down the inside he goes, onto the brakes. Lovely, lovely job. Not too much of a fight there by James, but he doesn't need to fight at this point. It's very early days in the championship. A night like tonight is all about just scoring points. Get yourself on the board early, because this is a very busy series. There's going to be a lot of races. 30 races this season, 10 race meetings, some of the finest racetracks in the world. And there is not going to be a single moment for any of these drivers to give it up. As goodness me, Davidson there making contact with the back of Naveed Hussein. Naveed covers the inside. Oh, and he's just run into the back of the 37 of JB Masida. Naveed's getting a workover. Oh, he's been turned around. Oh, Davidson plows through. Oh, he's going to be unchuffed with that one, is Naveed. I can tell you that for free, and anyone would be on the receiving end of that contact. Davidson just not patient there, unfortunately, and just shoved through. Let's have a look at the situation then in each class. So we've got Hafliderson, Shiel, Avdoka, top 3 in the pros. Matt Bunn, James Neve, Mikael Lees, top 3 in the AMs. For now. I say for now. Goodness me. Goodness me, look at it. Oh, sideways, Personi. Completely sideways. Karekis is sideways, and whoa, Mikael Loose, never mind that. Look at the push Ed Mays giving Matthew Crisp, is that on the left-hand side there in the number 18 car. Where's he come from? 3 wide down the back straight once again. Loads of movement behind as well, as I believe John Baptiste Masida got into a bit of trouble there. His Personi tries to turn in. Ed Mays there running a little bit wide in the Spontex CDM Esports car. Jesper Eriksson's with him as well there. Way out wide goes Personi. Eriksson gives him the room to get back on. Ed May now looks to the inside of Matthew Crisp. Hard onto the brakes they go. All of them nosedive into the club chicane. And again, all of them kill the frame rate. Through they go once more. Esteban Rodriguez again with a brilliant view. As sideways goes Karekis. He tries to get around JB Masida. There is room. Is JB going to see him there? Yes, he leaves room on the right-hand side, or on his left-hand side at least. Nice and tidy. Flipping heck. Kevin Zemstra saying, how is Hafliderson leading the race? That's like Silas not spinning. I don't know. Never commentated on Hafliderson before. 3 cars in this race have gained 10 positions, by the way. Michael Avdoka, Matthew Crisp and Morgan Butler, all gaining 10 spots so far in this second race of the night. Morgan's just ahead of the number 9 car of Alex Jenkins there. We're going to go back up to this, though, because Matthew Crisp is one of the pro drivers, and he is chasing down Mikael Lees, who's one of the AM drivers here. So it's only for class position that these guys need to worry about defending. But look at this. Just angry swarm of bees behind, but they're all remaining single file to be in the slipstream. As down the inside goes Crispy. You'll see Lees on the right-hand side of your screen there. And now he slots in front of Ed May, who is, of course, in the same class as him. Very busy. Very busy. Alexander Davidson now side by side with Naveed Hussein. Round the outside into the club chicane, one way then the other. It's not Hussein, I apologise. It's Simone Personi, isn't it, in the number 12. Davidson goes through. Little kiss of the curb there by JB Masida. He's got a car down his inside. That's Morgan Butler. Car in front is Esteban Rodriguez in the number 35. Gives him a little bit of a brush on that matte black rear end. But look at this train of cars. This is epic stuff. All the way down from 6th position to, wow, where would that be? 22nd place. I mean, Colin Sansom's a little bit further off it, but everybody else, Marcus Adams, no one else in front of him here is more than 0.4 of a second apart. It is amazing. Look at that. Beautiful stuff to watch. Bit of a bounce over the curb there by Maciej Sakovic, who have, of course, had a poor start in this race. There's contact in front. Car off on the left-hand side. Car back on the left-hand side. That was Pete Newman getting involved there, I think. That was Matthias Tem and Pete Newman coming to some shenanigans. Let's have a look. So Pete goes to the left-hand side. Matthias covers the inside. He's got both Fury cars in front of him there. Matthias Tem and the number 9 car of Alex Jenkins. I think Jesper Eriksson has had a trouble, or some sort of trouble. Newman and Tem here right together. Oh, Newman runs into the back and gets sideways. They somehow both managed to survive it, but there's cars either side trying to break their way through. Oh no, Marcus Adams is around. Marcus Adams is around at the chicane. Race goes on without him. Matthew Crisp does the fastest lap of the race, somehow in all of this, and look at that there in the middle. Mikel Lees is getting very friendly with the car next to him. Who was that? Was that Morgan Butler? I believe it is. Morgan's then got Jesper Eriksson just behind him as well. This is crazy stuff. Bonkers racing as Morgan lifts the back end of Lee's car off the ground. Somehow Mikel makes the corner. How on earth did he do that? Eriksson now gives him a bit of a feel up on the exit as well. Morgan somehow stays on the road. Alex Davidson has now gained 12 places out of nowhere. He's gained some freebies over the way. But what a busy race this is. My oh my, I don't know where to look. Apologies for any sporadic camera changing, but Jesus, this is bonkers. I knew the racing was going to be good this season, but honestly, I have not been given entertainment like this in a long time. This is phenomenal. And because of the way these cars are as well, so many of them survive the race. That's Roger Morton putting his nose down the inside of Maciej Sakovic for Team MAD. It's not welcome here, says Maciej. Great looking livery on that Result clothing car, isn't it though? Look at everyone fanning out now, taking different lines into the club chicane. And look at that by Pete Newman round the outside of Morton, then down the inside in the second part. Oh, nearly gives him a kiss on the exit, but well controlled to make sure he doesn't. This is the battle in the AM lead, by the way. Matt Bunn up in second place now has James Neve all over the back of him for work guard by Result. Hope you're all enjoying the show, though. This is great entertainment, is it not? Like I say, please do make sure you subscribe to Chaz Draycott Media. Try and get involved wherever you can with WSR World Sim Racing. And, of course, the wonderful people and products at Butt Kicker and Mr. Hedge iRacing Photography as well. 9.5 minutes gone. We're not even at the halfway point yet. I'm going to run out of hair by the end of this season, I can tell you that for free. Wow. Seems to have calmed down there, but then when you see all this, they're just absolutely glued together. Let's give you the track map. You can just see this massive train of cars from 7th back and then even 22nd back as well in the AMs. We've got this enormous train of them as well. There's a good 5 or 6 involved in this one. This is Jakub Szymanski trying to hold off Nathan Davis. Tony Tiger down the inside. Oh, Jakub turns in. Jakub turns in as if Nathan's not there, unfortunately. And Nathan says, well, I am there, mate. Tiger doesn't change its stripes. Says, oh, Alex Jenkins. Alex Jenkins for Fury Simsport. He's taking what looks like an involuntary pit stop. He's gained a lot of positions out of that, but that looks like a big problem for Jenkins. It looks like at one point Tem and Pete Newman are involved. Oh, the two Fury teammates aren't going to come together, are they? He's just come all the way over. Yep. Oh, man. Oh, man. Well, it looks like the number one rule in motorsport has been broken a lot tonight. The one thing you don't do in motorsport is hit your teammate. And we've seen two major forms of contact between teammates so far. Here's Christoph Kerekis. Now, right behind him is that man, Esteban Rodriguez. Morgan Butler's just got in front of him as we head into the second half of this race. Sorry, it's not Morgan Butler. Apologies, it was Ed May. I don't even know my own car. Flipping out. That's poor, isn't it? Flipping out, Chaz. Ed May's currently third in the AM class, and he's got a lot of pros around him, so he doesn't want to worry about this. He's just thinking, leave me alone, boys. You just get on with your own races. I want to continue on and hold third place. Still side by side, though. I can't believe how much side-by-side action we've got. Like I said, I knew this was going to be great fun. But the car, the drivers, they've all outdone themselves. The organisers should be very happy. Little kiss there from Kerekis. Get it? No? Sorry. Morgan Butler and Mikel Lees together. Evdoka, fastest lap of the race. Morgan goes down the inside, gets a place. Mikel Lees in the AM class, though, so Morgan doesn't have to worry about it too much. This looks... I was going to say friendly, but friendly isn't the word for that. As intimate, I think, is the right word for that. Esteban Rodriguez all over the back of Kerekis now. He's not going to make anything through there. He's run... Oh, it looked like he ran a little bit deep into there, though, to avoid a car behind. Jean-Baptiste Mesida thinks... Let's just test how hard these curbs are, shall we? How good's the suspension on this thing? You do see a lot of body language from these cars, though. They're barely on all four wheels at most points of the circuit. Further up the road, though, Evdoka chasing down Neve. He's got Andy Shield behind him as well. Two WSR cars going well in this race, actually. Second and fifth. The Butcher, as he's known, Andy Shield. We were having a good laugh on Discord before as we were making sure all the elements of this evening were all ready to go. And he's now watching Evdoka, who drives for his team at Pure Sims Esports, getting held up by the two AMs in front, which involves one of them as well, Matt Bunn, one of the admins and team managers at Pure Sims Esports. top 5 all the time. Michael Hafliderson he's flying off into the distance. Great job so far by the AM Racing Team driver. But we need to come back to this, I'm afraid. I know the front runners are all having a good race, but the mid-pack is just bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. I mean, even further back as well, Naveed Hussein's just got past Ian Manners. They were having a little battle. Matthias Tem and Maciej Sakovic are still glued together as well. Further up, they're side by side, Morgan Butler and Ed May. Please don't make me pick sides. Please don't make me pick sides, Ed. Ed sideways there. The Hedgehog goes into an early hibernation. And oh, that's important. Whoa, a little late move there from Ed. Moves to the right-hand side. That's Mikael Lees taking back the 3rd position in the AM class. So that puts him in a podium position in his class. He knows, and I think both of these guys know, that they're not going to catch up with Bunny and Neve, because Neve is up in 5th place. He's involved in all this, though. Yeah, and rightly so. Backs out of it. He says, no, I don't want a part of that. Oh, no, Crispy. Crispy sends it up the inside into the side of Bunny. Makes it 3 wide into the I don't know what these boys think sometimes when they make it 3 wide into a chicane. Bunny gets a smack in the side, and all of a sudden, the AM lead is thrown wide open again. Crispy says thanks very much. Evdoka moves up into 2nd place. Crisp 3rd, Shield 4th, and now this is the AM class lead here in the World GR86 series. And we can't see Neve. I was expecting him to go through down the inside. As through now goes Alexander Davidson. He's still being chased down by Simone Passoni as well. Will they get away from any danger? There's more danger as they clatter into each other. Neve and Bunny door to door for the lead in the AM class. Oh no! Bunny runs wide, tries to correct, and Passoni gets into it as well. All 3 of them 3 wide. And where's James Neve and Ed May? Where's Ed May and who was the other driver? Where's he gone? Oh no, Mikael Lees has dropped way down. Ed May now leads the AM class from Sakovic, who's side by side with Matthias Tem. Goodness me. Marcus Adams dropped down. We'll have a quick look here. Oh, he's going to hit the curb, is he not? And then bounces off the car in front, unfortunately. Liam Silkstone, Carl Hardy and Jakub Szymanski all having a drama as well. Flipping heck, it's all kicking off. This is, oh dearie me, very busy. There's more chaos going on actually. Ian Manners, Pete Newman's been involved. Oh heck, there's been a bunch of them. Let's have a look though what happened here to James Neve. This is what happened to Mikael Lees actually. Sorry, I'm going back on myself here. So it's Ed May and Mikael Lees side by side. This is for 3rd place in AM at the time. Oh, it's Mikael. He just turns in, unfortunately. There's still a car there. Let's have a look at this then. So Neve is in the black and orange car. Down the inside. Oh, I don't think Bunny knew he was there. Another door bang. Another one. And oh, it just bounces off into Passoni. And then Ed May says, thanks very much, boys. I'll take that. Wow. So it's all kicking off. There was even more to look at because Pete Newman and Nathan Davis had a problem. Oh, Pete gets turned on the way into Stowe. And then, oh, bang. Clattered into by Davis. Davis' car has an issue. And then, well, Pete gets drilled off even further after that. Slow in the middle of the road, unfortunately. And some of the guys tried to avoid him by the look of it, but couldn't. Whoa, it's exploded here at Silverstone. Let's just get our bearings again. So it's Michael Hafliderson leading this race, 3.1 seconds over Michael Evdoka. And then Matthew Crisp in 3rd place. Andy Shield just behind him. Then we've got Alexander Davidson. And then Christoph Karekis has got an army behind him of Esteban Rodriguez, Jean-Baptiste Maceda, Morgan Butler, and then Jesper Eriksson. Behind all of that, in 11th place overall, 4 seconds off this battle, Ed May leads the AM class. He's 2.5 seconds clear of Maciej Sakovic. Colin Sansom is 3rd in AM, but he's gained 14 spots from where he started in this race. Great drive by Colin at the moment. Matt Bunn is now 4th in class. Matty Wilde is 5th, and then Nathan Davis, who's gained 10 places despite his hit into Pete Newman a moment ago. He's gained 10 spots up into 19th and 6th in his class. Whoa, Mikael Lees has had another problem, I'm afraid. There's been more drama going on for him and Matty Wilde out the final corner, or into the final corners, I should say. Mikael just behind. Oh. And, oh, it was just an incident. No, Chaz, come on. An incident at different points of the circuit. Sorry, I thought that was Matty Wilde in front of them there. I got the wrong livery. My bad. Wow. I'm going to need a drink between these ones, as Simone Pisoni has unfortunately called it and gone back to the pits. This is the battle for second place overall in the race. Second place in the pros as well. Michael Avdoka has this man, Matthew Crisp, just behind him now. Crispy pushing on in the gorgeously painted Alcantec NHR car. We've got 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes of this race left to go now. And the battle is on. Andy Shield is only about half a second behind this, you know. And then, I mean, if we look even at this, at Christoph Karekis, he's got Esteban Rodriguez all over the back of him as well. This is for 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. Morgan Butler in there as well. 3 wide. Down the inside goes Masida. Is Rodriguez going to compensate for that room? He does. Great driving. Morgan tries to get in the inside as well as Karekis and Rodriguez both run wide. Where does Masida go now? He's got so many places to have to defend. Karekis still at the front of it, nearly gets picked up by Rodriguez. Somehow they stick together. Jesper Eriksson is now in this. He's got a face full of Butler. Look at the run that he's trying to get here. Fastest lap of the race by Davidson, up into 5th spot. He had that shifter issue earlier on. This is absolutely amazing racing again though. Fantastic fun. Hope you're enjoying it at home. I'm certainly enjoying it at home, I can tell you that. We'll have one more lap to go after this one. Actually, I believe this may be the final lap, actually, with Michael Hafliderson at the front here. Bit of a wobble there from Jesper Eriksson. Shows you how easy it is to save this car if it does have a little slide. You can really push it and really slide it around. It's a great little racing machine made by Toyota. The GR86. An absolute riot. Look at that further up. Michael Avdoka having to work very hard here to hold off our race leader. I think not race leader, Matthew Crisp in 3rd place. I think we may be about to see our race winner. We are. The checkered flag is going to be waved. And around the final corner for AM Racing Team, put your hands together as Michael Hafliderson takes the race win at Silverstone. Fantastic drive. Michael Avdoka 2nd, Matthew Crisp 3rd, then it's Davidson, Shield, and then Karekis is going to beat home Jean-Baptiste Masida, Morgan Butler, Esteban Rodriguez, Jesper Eriksson, and in the AM class it's going to be Spontex CDM Esports taking a win in the form of Ed May ahead of Magic Sakovic, Matthias Tem, Colin Sansum. I will get your name right, Colin, I do apologise. He finishes 3rd in that class. Matt Bunn just ahead of Naveed Hussein at the line. More battles going on as well. We've got Marcus Adams, James Neve, Liam Silkstone just behind with Matty Wilde all over the back of him for the DCWR car. Doesn't quite work, but Michael Hafliderson takes a race win at Silverstone. Awesome, awesome job. Very well done to Michael. He and the team will be over the moon with that one. Excuse me, my throat is going dry. 2nd race of the season, and he's done a cracking job. Let's just take a quick look at the reverse grid wheel. It's still in the same position it was when we finished earlier on, and let's let the admins know what the reverse grid is going to be this time round, shall we? It's going to be 12 for this one, so only a small one. That is going to put Magic Sakovic on pole position and Ed May alongside him. 2 AMs on the front row. And then there are going to be a bunch of pro drivers just behind. So there's going to be plenty of stuff going on with those two, trying to battle for the AM victory. And of course, loads of the pros trying to pile in behind. Really hope you enjoyed that 2nd race. So we're just going to have a look now at the race results, so please do bear with us. We'll have a look at exactly how that one all panned out, shall we? Let's get some music on as well. Make sure that we're not in complete silence here while we're doing this. Come on, Chaz, you're a professional. Michael Hafliderson takes the race win then. Michael Avdoka finishing 2nd. Matthew Crisp rounds out the podium for Alcantec NHR. Alexander Davidson finishes 4th ahead of Andy Shield, and Christoph Karekis is 6th. Jean-Baptiste Masida is 7th ahead of Morgan Butler. Esteban Rodriguez and Jesper Eriksson make sure that once again it is all pros in the top 10. Ed May finishes 11th with Magic Sakovic in 12th, Matthias Tem 13th in amongst all of those AMs, Colin Sansom and Matt Bunn 14th and 15th. Bunny will be gutted he didn't get an AM win for that one. Naveed Hussain recovers into 16th place. He finishes just ahead of Nathan Davis and Roger Morton. Marcus Adams and James Neve round out your top 20. Then it's Liam Silkstone and Matty Wilde 21st and 22nd. Carl Hardy is 23rd ahead of Mikael Lees, and then the cars one lap down or more were Adam Delmont, Ian Manners, Simone Personi, Jakub Szymanski, Pete Newman and Alex Jenkins. Okay, so it's about that time of the night again though, everybody, where we just go to a quick advert break here on Chaz Draycott Media. I'm just going to go and get myself a drink. I'm going to cool down after another belting race, and we'll be back with you in a few minutes' time for the final race of the night. Do not go anywhere. We'll see you very soon.
4 French drivers at the French Grand Prix trying to win this on the final lap. The 3 wide again, Guillaume down the inside. Guillaume moves across, they're both in front of Milan and
But
Pouget.
before you know it, we find ourselves here in the very final race of the competition.
And then they see truck racing and they think, this is crazy, you know, these are 5-ton machines, 1200 horsepower brake.
Oh, look at that switchback. Oh, you can look and the drift is go out.
Back there, go on ball with Ben Gregory now. I love it. 10.5 minutes gone. Senna Lanson tries to go for the race lead.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
freeze this moment, make it mine, hold you close. Now my heart's wide open. When I'm with you, suddenly I feel no pain. Do you make it go away? Do you make it? Wanna freeze this moment, make it mine, hold you close. Now my heart's wide open. When I'm with you, suddenly I feel no pain. Do you make it go away? Do you make it? Do you make it go away? Do you make it? Do you make it go away? Do you make it? Do you make it go away? Do you make it go away?
Hello again, everybody. Chaz Draycott here for the World GR86 series here by World Sim Racing. Hope you're enjoying yourselves so far tonight. We're here for the first 3 rounds of the championship at Silverstone, and this is going to be the 3rd and final race of the evening. But boy, have we had some phenomenal entertainment so far. I hope you'll all agree. It's been a hell of a lot of work gone into this in terms of organising the championship, making it all nice and smooth, and of course putting together all of these beautiful elements of this broadcast too. I've really enjoyed myself so far tonight, and I'm hoping for more of the same throughout the championship. So we've had a win now for Naveed Hussein, and a win, of course, for the wonderful Swede Michael Hafliderson for AM Racing Team, doing everything he needed to do to take that victory in the second race of the night. But there's some fast drivers that just haven't quite shone through the order yet. We've got people like Esteban Rodriguez and Alexander Davidson. He had that shifter problem in the first race that really held him up and dropped him down from the very front of the field. Good to see as well, we have British Touring Car Champion Ash Sutton on our screens again in this gorgeous Napa livery. Of course, Ash coming back once again to the British Touring Car Championship this year with an amazing lineup of teammates, including Dan Camish, Daniel Rowbottom and Sam Osborne as well in the Ford Focus. Ash has proven himself not just as an ace in rear-wheel drive machinery, but front-wheel drive as well. And it's going to be exciting to see what he can do in terms of coming through the order here and pushing on. He's been on iRacing for a long, long time. He knows the sim very well by now. He's always been quite the advocate for it. And I know a lot of these guys will love to race against him and throw these cars around. Got a minute and a quarter left of warm-up. This is just a little practice session between while the drivers get time to join in with the session and get ready to go. We're going to have 12 cars reversed on the grid, so it's going to be Maciej Sakovic on pole position in the AM class for Team MAD, and he's going to be alongside the race winner in that last one, or at least the class winner, which is going to be Ed May. It's going to be great to see how they battle together through the order and see whether they can hold back some of the pros behind them. See if there's any battles that dislodge them slightly, let's say. And part of the art of racing in an AM class like that and pushing forward through it all is that you need to keep your wits about you for any of the quicker drivers coming through and not compromise yourself too much, not lose too much time in the long run. It's very easy to do that. We've got drivers in the pits, drivers just waiting to get going. It's certainly going to be a busy time, isn't it? Session has ticked over now, and we're going to be ready to go any second now. There you go, there are the cars disappearing, and for the final time tonight we're going to look at your grid. It's going to be a bit of a quick rundown though. You've all seen how it should look so far. Maciej Sakovic takes pole position ahead of Ed May. Then it's Jesper Eriksson and Esteban Rodriguez on row 2. Morgan Butler and Jean-Baptiste Maceda on row 3. Christophe Carreque 7th. Andy Scheel 8th. Alexander Davidson 9th. Ahead of Matthew Crispin 10th, I should say. Then it's Evdoka, Hafliderson, Tem, Sansom, Bunn, Hussein, Davis, Morton, Adams, Neve, Silverstone, Wild, Hardy, Lease, Personi, Schwansky, Newman, Jenkins, Sutton and Rob Padgham at the back of the field. So I hope you're all ready for this one, because I certainly am. This is going to be a belter, the final race of the evening, ready to get underway. It's going to be busy, it's going to be frantic, but if it's anything like the other 2 races we've had tonight, it's going to be a beauty, isn't it? Just look at the size of this field. Everyone all ready to go. The lights are just about to come on, actually. So for the final time this evening, here from Silverstone, the World GR86 Series, sponsored by Butt Kicker, is go. And again, it's a bit of a slow start. These cars don't get off the line the best, but the Force Esports machine of Jesper Eriksson going very well in the middle of the pack there. Great job by him. Looks like him and Hafliderson have both had fantastic starts all throughout tonight. Looks like everyone's got through nice and tidy. As now they all get onto the brakes, into the hairpin. We'll keep flicking back through some of these cars and just see What goes on? There's a bit of 4 wide here, a bit of shoveling, and off the road goes 173 of Carl Hardy. Oh, he's just been collected. Carl's been drilled there. Who was that went into him? I think it was Pete Newman. Just gone into the back of him as they went through the loop. Sakovic still leads. Ed May has dropped down 2 places into 4th position. Seems very tidy from everybody else so far. Side by side here, Andy Scheel and JB Masida. That's the number 37 car, and he's inside now, the outside for the club chicane. Hard onto the brakes they go. Through the left, through the right. Andy's going to hang it all the way around the outside there. As, oh no, around goes Hafliderson. And well, it was mentioned in the YouTube chat that it was going to happen. And who else was that? Naveed Hussain goes around. Naveed, the race 1 winner, gets turned. Joins back on as, oh goodness me, Ash Sutton goes through, and wow, big contact there. Who was that went flying off the road? Liam Silverstone came flying through, just about missed the front of Naveed Hussain. Ash Sutton was involved. He tried to make a move down the inside of the cars around him. It's all very busy, isn't it? So much going on. Still, positions change all over. Jesper Eriksson now leads this race from Esteban Rodriguez. Maciej Sakovic and Ed May in this as well. Ed May waiting to find an opportunity to go down the inside of the AM-Class leader, nearly making contact through Stowe. Christoph Karekis goes very wide with Morgan Butler in there as well. It was Danny Solo in the chat saying, and Hal Hafley goes around. He wasn't lying. Got a car off. Colin Sansom way off at Stowe in the background. He's almost had to pay to get back in. He's gone that far off the road. Let's have a look how this one. He's just going to lose it and then overcorrect. And whoop, yep. Very easy to do that. So again, no hard feelings to Colin there. Unfortunately, it's just what do they call it? A symptom of rear-wheel drive cars that have got so much grip at the front end. Ash Sutton here trying to make his way through the field. He's got Matty Wilde in front of him there. James Neve also just going through. Ash now looks down the inside, hard onto the brakes. Through Village and up another position. He's gained 10 so far in this race. There's trains everywhere of these cars once again. Michael Evdoka behind Matthew Crisp. Andy Scheel in there as well. This is Evdoka for Pure Sims Esports. Down the inside of Scheel. Crispy waiting in the wings there also. Alexander Davidson and Christoph Karekis having a battle. Ed May, I think, was sideways further up with Morgan Butler. Ed May, I think, has had a slowdown penalty. Flashes the lights in discomfort or disagreement or disgruntlement, whatever you want to say. As now, Crispy tries to go down the inside of Andy Scheel as well. Andy's got his teammate Matt Bunn just behind him. The 2 WSR cars looming together. It's the 2 stealth fighters against the RAF. Pushing along, helping Michael Evdoka. Matt Bunn does the fastest lap of the race as Scheel's very sideways. Oh no, Andy nearly saved it. He was flashing the lights as he was spinning. Oh, I imagine he just hit the indicator stalks that hard as he went one way then the other. Big moment for Andy Scheel, unfortunately. Wow. That was a massive off. He nearly had it saved. He nearly got it saved. I don't know if there was contact. I don't think there was. We're not going to be able to tell from here, I don't think. But he's turned it in. Oh, he hits the back of Evdoka. That's what happens. And he somehow doesn't get hit by Bunny on the way through. Wow. So this is Maciej Sakovic leading the AM class at the moment. He won the AM class in the first race of the night. He's going to be trying to win it again just now. Side by side, Hafliderson leaning on Marcus Adams. The two of them getting very friendly. Hafliderson needs to leave more room than that if he wants to go around the outside. Adams not giving him any room at all on the exit of the corner, though. I think he was just pure understeer as he went wide, and now Hafliderson seemingly got a slowdown penalty there and had to pay the price. Behind them, it's 3 wide here. Roger Morton involved in this. Got Personi in there. Just behind them is Matty Wilde for DCWR. Oh, Personi all over the curb. Now he's on the outside of Morton. Those two give each other room. That's Pro versus Am again. And then just behind that, look, the other Wave Italy Racing Team car of Naveed Hussain making his way through the pack. Very close. Yet again. Unfortunately, Ash Sutton has disappeared, I'm afraid. It looks like he's had a problem. Not quite sure what's gone on there, but he's disappeared and has been in the pits, and that's it. I think he's not on track at the moment. We've got Ash Sutton, Liam Silverstone, Pete Newman and Alex Jenkins not moving in this race so far. Back at the front though, it's Jesper Eriksson from Esteban Rodriguez, Maciej Sakovic I should say, sorry Maciej, I've known you long enough now. Morgan Butler in 4th place, Jean-Baptiste Masida in 5th, then Christoph Karekis, Alex Davidson, Michael Avdoka, Matthew Crisp, and then Ed May rounding out the top 10. So Maciej Sakovic is quite comfortable at the moment, it must be said. He's doing a great job with all of these pro cars between himself and Ed May. He's in a very comfy position. Ed May has actually got Matt Bunn not too far behind him as well. There is the gap between 2nd and 3rd in the AM class. But this circuit has certainly provided great racing so far, hasn't it? It's really shown us what is possible in these cars. And hopefully we've got plenty more of it to come as well. Throughout the season we've got some epic circuits on the calendar. Jesper Eriksson is just wanting this race to be over now. He's only 6 3/4 minutes through the race though. He's plenty of time left for it to go right, plenty of time for it to go wrong. Alexander Davidson's at the back of this, watching it all develop in front of him. As we go back on board with the growl of the GR86. Through Stowe. Long sweeping right. Now hard onto the brakes into the club chicane. Careful of the curbs, it's very easy to roll the car over these curbs. They really do bounce up and get up on 2 wheels. Morgan Butler was climbing around all over the back of Maciej Sakovic. Morgan in the pro class, Maciej in the AM class. Morgan just needs to be patient here with Maciej, I think. It's only on paper that they're in these 2 different classes. You know, Maciej has proven that he's very quick and a definite contender for this championship title already. But he just needs to avoid getting in any trouble here with these drivers around him as Avdoka, sorry, not Avdoka, it was Davidson down the inside of Karekis. Christoph trying to hang it around the outside as they go through the loop onto the hanger straight. And David says he doesn't think he's driven this layout. It's a fantastic layout, my friend. It really is. I commentated here, well, I pit reported here in October at the end of last year. And some of the racing we saw was amazing. This is Mikael Lees, who I think is going to bounce off, the side of Herfliderson. Herfliderson does go across the apex a little bit there, as if there wasn't a car there, unfortunately. So I don't really think that was on Lees. As Marcus Adams is still friendly with Herfliderson. The 2 of them were glued to each other earlier. They're knocking 7 shades of Toyota out of each other, and somehow the Venus Semantics car is still in front here. Herfliderson will be spitting feathers trying to get through. Down the inside he goes into the club chicane. He says, right, thank you very much, now leave me alone. let me just crack on with my race. Further up, Davidson side by side still with Karekis as they go through the first corner, the right hander at Abbey, then Farm Curve, long sweeping left. Plenty of time to stabilise the car then onto the brakes. Not into Village. He's not quite got rid of the overlap yet. There's a car around in front. Morgan Butler is off the road, and Morgan Butler is back on the road. And he's losing places. What on earth happened there to Morgan Butler? JB Masida was involved. You can see Morgan in front. He's gone down. No, he's not gone down the inside of Maciej Sakovic. Is he? Oh, he just taps the car in front. That's such an odd characteristic of this car. But you tap the car in front and it's the one behind that loses out rather than the car in front that gets biffed around. It's very strange. But it's like that sometimes in motorsport. It's very easy for the car to suffer from strange physics. Even in the real world, you still see accidents and you think, what? Naveed Hussein's carving his way through the pack here. And by carving his way through, I mean he's lost 1 position from where he started. Started this race in 16th, but obviously had the incident in the opening stages. Simone Passoni, his teammate, has actually gained 8 spots from where he started. Biggest mover in the field is Adam Delmont for Next Gen Racing. He's gained 12 positions from where he started this race, down in 25th. So hats off to Adam. He's really flying at the moment. We're just into the second half of this race now, and I only just now need a drink. Matthias Tem disappeared for a moment there and is still disappearing. I think he's having a connection issue, unfortunately. Morgan Butler and Ed May right with each other. These two glued together down the start-finish straight, sorry, the back straight. Teammates here in Maciej Sakovic and JB Masida together. Through goes Alexander Davidson on Maciej Sakovic. Maciej doesn't really roll over to it, but at the end of the day, he's got no reason to fight with Alex other than to maybe take a bit of pressure off JB in front. The biggest loser in this race, it's not a phrase I like to say really, but Matthias Tem is now dropping more and more positions now he's disconnected. Other than that, it's definitely not the admin. Andy Scheel, with his earlier incident, has dropped 13 places in this race, I'm afraid. Here's your battle at the front. Now, I mentioned before that Esteban Rodriguez hasn't really shone through that much tonight, despite having great pace. Looks to me like he's definitely on his way there, actually. Jesper Eriksson just in front. And this is close stuff, isn't it? Into the back straight. Doesn't even give him a nudge, but I tell you what, he's making sure that he squeezes him to that left-hand side, isn't he? He's guaranteeing that there is not much room here for Jesper to do anything about it, and he's already in front before they get to Stowe. Nice job by Esteban Rodriguez. We have a new race leader here at Silverstone with 8 minutes to go in the third round of the championship. The battles continue on behind, and it's still a Pure Sims esports car side by side with Christoph Kerekis. Matthew Crisp watching and waiting here in the wings again. Kerekis has got to be careful for Avdoka being down the inside. Matty doesn't make these three wide. You can hear him just give it a bit of a lift. He's being patient right now. This is coming back to what I said before about these cars not being the fastest things in the world. You get a lot of time to think about what you're doing. I don't, because I've got to try and look at what everyone's doing, but still, as a driver you get a lot more time to think about your moves you're going to make, your reactions. Look how close they can race each other as well. Here on iRacing, it's just a joy, isn't it? The way the cars move around, the way the drivers can get close to each other. It's got to be the best sim for this sort of racing. Even the way it broadcasts as well, you know, the movement, it all looks so natural, as that's not natural by Michael Avdoka. He has a moment coming onto the hanger straight, and Matthew Crisp says thanks very much. Down the inside as Michael moves back over to the right. Crispy says, what are you doing, Sunshine? Throws something out the window at him. It's not bags of flour, that's for sure. Avdoka continues on around the outside, but now he's not boxed in, he's boxed out right now as Kerekis holds in front. He's going to carry it around the outside. He's just slightly off the road. I don't think he's going to get a slowdown penalty for that though, so he can continue on at full pace and just does slot in front of Matthew Crisp. Neve and Adams having a good old ding-dong as well. Adams is not scared of making other people's cars. Fluoro yellow! Oh no, it's going to be brown now as Adams spins off the circuit. Does he keep hold of it? No, he doesn't. Oh, good lord. Scary moment there for Andy Scheel. That was a big old shame though, wasn't it? Marcus Adams and James Neve right together. A little bit of door banging, and then he runs wide, and well, there's just not enough room on the left, unfortunately. It would have just been understeer. Nothing malicious about that at all in my eyes. Just one of those moments, you're both going through a very quick corner, you're on an exit and it does sweep round to the left. You have to eventually turn. And that is that. So we're into the last 5.5 minutes of the race here. It's very busy. Not quite as busy as the second race was, but there's still plenty going on. This is Matt Bunn on the back of Adam Delmont. Delmont continues to be the biggest mover in the field. He's gained 14 places now, up into 11th. It'll be great if he can get up into the top 10 ahead of Ed May. He's only 7 tenths in front. Ed is still second in the AM class for the moment in the Spontex CDM esports car. The lead battle is still very close though, because this is the top 3. Alexander Davidson is now here to either offer support or take his teammate off, because this is Pure Sims Sim Lab for Esteban Rodriguez, and then Alex Davidson is Pure Sims Esports. So it's the solid Pure Sims effort. Their finest drivers race under the Pure Sims Esports banner. And of course you have 2 car teams this season in this championship. There is a teams championship as well. And these two are not in the same teams for that. Jesper Eriksson's going to be deciding what to do here, because in front of him he's got Esteban, but behind him, or well, now to his right-hand side, he's got Alex Davidson. Alex is throwing the kitchen sink at him at the moment. JB Maceda's not too far off the back of this either. Maciej Sakovic continues to lead Am by a good 5 positions outright in the race. Down the inside goes Davidson. Oh, a little bit of a kiss as they go through Stowe. And a big slide on the exit by Ericsson. Somehow doesn't go around. Unfortunately, Rob Padgham has had an issue a little bit further down the order. He's not had the easiest of races so far as Rob. We'll have just a quick look at this and then we'll come back to it. In the 52 racing car, teammate with Ian Manners for this season. Into the club chicane. Looks like there's already damage on the car actually on that front left, and yeah, it's affected the way it behaves and it goes around on him. Side by side for second place though, as down the inside goes Davidson, and that means now that if anything he can be a rear tail gunner to his stablemate Esteban Rodriguez, and they can try and secure some big points. JB Maceda has become a part of this instantly now with the fighting that's been going on, and behind that Christoph Karekis still having a fight with Michael Evdoka and Matthew Crisp. Great driving by all of these guys. Epic entertainment at one of the highest levels. And Morgan Butler's even getting in on this as well. Delmont is now inside the top 10, I can tell you. He's got ahead of Ed May, but that's not done Ed any favours, because he's got Matt Bunn and Nathan Davis behind him. Although that car just behind them there is actually Matthias Tem, a lap down. Nathan Davis is a few more car lengths back from that. Here's the move for the lead though. Davidson already had the lead by the end of the straight, and now Rodriguez has gone back through. More civil war here at Pure Sims as they get on the brakes into the club chicane. Down the inside, one way then the other. Nice stuff. 0.000 of a second between them as it now ticks over on the timing screen on the left. 17.5 minutes done. Oh, it's going to be close actually as to whether we get another lap or not at the end of this. We may just have this lap that they're on now and then one more. And it is Davidson that takes the lead, Rodriguez second, then Ericsson, then Maceda, Maciej Sakovic, Christoph Karekis and Michael Evdoka and Matthew Crisp and Morgan Butler all getting in on this now. It's suddenly, after being a trio and then a few cars and then another trio, it's suddenly become, oh hello, suddenly become a 9-car train for the lead. Great entertainment though, isn't it, tonight? Honestly, I really am loving this. I hope you all are as well. I know I keep saying it, but honestly, it means a lot if you guys are enjoying it as well, and that the coverage has been okay. I've been trying to throw a lot of different elements around with this one. Sweating buckets right now here in my office at home, but loving every second. Here is the train then. Davidson, Rodriguez, Ericsson, Maceda, Sakovic, Karekis, Evdoka, Crisp and Butler. Sakovic, the spoiler in the pack here, because he's the only am in amongst all of this. He's got his teammate in front of him. He's pushing him like mad down the start-finish straight, but look behind him as well, because they've got all of these lot piling in one after the other, waiting to make a move. We'll go on board with Maciej Sakovic just to see how this all looks from his point of view in towards Village. On the brakes, look at that, covering the inside line to make sure nobody can come through and attack his teammate. He may as well at this point. Nice and tidy through the loop into the right hander. Look at how hesitant you have to be on turning it in, making sure you don't overdo it. And oh no, there's been a kick-off behind. Whoa! Hello, Michael Evdoka. Nice J-turn, sunshine, but that's not the quickest way. Oh, dearie me. What on earth went on? Matthew Crisp apparently going through on Christoph Karekis. So Sakovic, Evdoka, Crisp, Karekis. Is Karekis going to bounce off Evdoka? Oh, he's already lost it. And then, as in the catch, he turns down. Oh, he turns around Evdoka. Evdoka was so unlucky there. Michael was really the innocent party. But this is going to be close, you know. I don't know if this is going to count as the final corner of the race. It's going to go 8, 9. 20 minutes, and we are now on the final lap of the race, so we are going to get the one more. Alex Davidson leading this race from Esteban Rodriguez. Now let's not forget that Alex was the driver that put it on pole at the start of the night. He was the fastest in qualifying, and he started the race and led the race from the get-go. First time round this season, and then he had an issue with his shifter, or at least with his paddles, going down the start-finish straight, maybe even the clutch actually. Looked like the clutch was continually kicking in and he could not put the power down, but he's finally leading the race again at the end of the night here. We're on the 17th lap at Silverstone in the third race of the night here in the World GR86 Series, sponsored by Butt Kicker, here on Chaz Draycott Media, with support as well from Mr. Hedge iRacing Photography and all of the wonderful people that we have in the chat as well. Thank you all the viewers that have been with us tonight. We'll have driver interviews after the race as well. There's only a couple more corners now for Alexander Davidson to take this one from his stablemate Esteban Rodriguez. Great drive by Jesper Eriksson as well, but from 9th on the grid, it's looking very tasty for Pure Sims Esports and Alex Davidson. You could argue he was supposed to do this at the beginning of the night, but he's done it at the end. Alex Davidson wins, Esteban Rodriguez second, Eriksson third, Masida fourth, Maciej Sakovic another AM victory. Well done to Maciej. Ed May gets more solid points for the AM Championship for Spontex CDM Esports, and Nathan Davis gets a podium for Joy Sport as well. Bunny just behind him. Andy Shields in a fight here with James Neve. He's trying to get all over the back of him around the final corner. It's not going to be enough to make it stick to the line. But another epic race, that one. And your race winner is Alexander Davidson. Esteban Rodriguez really did shine through in the end, didn't he? And finished that one in second place. Thank you very much, David Ayres, in the chat, saying it's a fantastic racing, fantastic broadcast. He says, really well done to all involved. My only slight criticism at the end, risky like sounding my dad as the music. I had to keep turning the volume down. I do apologise. I didn't realise it was that loud, my friend. That's completely on me. I will bear that in mind in future, my friend. Thank you very much. Well, we haven't quite got everybody across the line yet. Rob Padgham's just crossing the line there for 52 Racing. And he will now complete the entire field. Well, let's have a look back then at the race results, shall we, and see exactly how that one all planned out, or panned out, I should say. If I could speak English tonight, it'd be a fantastic improvement. Alex Davidson takes the race win, then Esteban Rodriguez finishes second, Jesper Eriksson in third ahead of Jean-Baptiste Masida. Then we have Maciej Sakovic winning the AM class again in fifth place overall. Great night for Maciej, really. Matthew Crisp finishes in sixth, Morgan Butler seventh, Christoph Karekis eighth, Adam Delmont ninth, and Ed May rounds out the top 10. Michael Evdoka finishes in 11th, Nathan Davis is 12th, Matt Bunn 13th, behind him in 14th was Naveed Hussein. Michael Hefliderson, the two first race winners actually, first and second race winners there. Simone Passoni will be wanting more from the next round of the championship. James Neve and Andy Shield 17th and 18th. Then we have Roger Morton and Ian Manners, who rounds out the top 20. Mikael Lees finishes 21st ahead of Matty Wilde, then it's Carl Hardy and Colin Sansom. Marcus Adams finishes in 25th. Rob Padgham is next up in 26th place, followed by the drivers that were 3 laps down or more: Matthias Tem, Jakob Schmansky, Ash Sutton, Liam Silkstone, Pete Newman and Alex Jenkins. Those two did not take the start. Well, I've loved this. I don't really know what else to say. I've absolutely loved this, and I hope you all have as well. We're going to have a chat with some drivers now, though, because I really do think that we owe it to them. Unfortunately, though, I can't seem to drag them into the commentary box. So what I'm going to do is individually interview the drivers tonight. We're going to go for the first 3 that are here. The first one of which is the man that won the second race of tonight, Michael Hefliderson. Michael, first off, mate, very well done. Am I saying your name correctly? Because I do not want to get it wrong.
It's pronounced Haflidason, so close enough.
Okay, I'll go. Yeah, I'll remember that for next time, mate. This looked like a hell of a lot of fun tonight. You certainly enjoyed yourself in the second race, I'm sure, but what was it like from your perspective?
Well, it could have been a lot better. I've been driving with a fever today, so I haven't really been able to do many consistent laps. So to just in race 2 where I won, to get the lead was very nice. So I could just drive in my own pace and didn't have to push myself.
And what was the circuit like? Because it looks very easy on paper, but it's definitely not, is it? Some of the corners here are really tricky in a little car like this.
It's very tricky. Race 1 was fairly nice because the track was so cool, and then race 2 and 3 we had like 20 degrees hotter track, which obviously was a lot harder to drive, but still managed.
Well, it was definitely a good night for you, mate. Great to start the championship off. What are you thinking, though, in terms of the rest of the season? Are there any other circuits that really stand out to you that you think, I definitely want to have a good result there?
All of them.
I like that. It's a good, solid answer, Michael. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before you go, mate?
Well, my company, amrt.se, we have the Sweden's best rigs.
Well, thank you very much, Michael. Absolute pleasure to speak to you, and hopefully see you again at the next round with some more strong results.
Thank you.
And that brings me on then to the next interview. I'm going to now speak to my good friend Morgan Butler. Morgan, you obviously had the tough times in the first race of this evening, but still some very, very strong moments. You must be happy with the pace and the confidence going forward, at least.
Yeah, I mean, like, race one was race one. I mean, it's just a fun... I think a lot of us are kind of just viewing this as it's a fun league. You know, we're all here to enjoy it. If a result goes badly, a result goes badly. I mean, what can you do about it? I can't jump in the TARDIS, travel back in time, and redo the last lap. It's done now, and as much as, like, obviously the last lap maybe wasn't ideal, but you know, the battle leading up to that, you know, sitting on the back of Alex for however long it was, just chasing him down. I mean, it was incredibly enjoyable.
It certainly looked it, mate. You always had cars around you and absolutely on your door. Were you expecting a circuit like this to provide this good racing?
Yeah, I mean, I remember we went here in WTCS, I think last season, and it was fantastic racing. So a track like this, especially in cars like this, is always going to be phenomenal. That's why obviously Silverstone's quite a big staple on a lot of calendars, because it always provides some fantastic battles.
And as I asked Michael as well, are there any circuits on the calendar that you think, I cannot wait to head there? Are there any that really stand out to you?
I mean, I've not really had a look at the calendar just yet. I mean, I know that there's obviously some that are coming up, but I haven't really been paying attention to it. Just kind of taking each race as it comes.
Well, we go to Hockenheim next time out. What do you make of going there?
Oh, well, that's ruined my night. I wasn't... Oh, God. No, well, I think that reaction says it all, really.
Well, we look forward to you starting from the pits at Hockenheim, Morgan. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before you go, mate?
Obviously, just shout out to obviously Pure Sims and just to myself as well. Probably just shouting out some screenshots. If anybody wants some, send me a message. Promoting myself, you know. If no one else is going to promote it, promote yourself, or whatever the saying is.
I don't know what the saying is, but I'm sure it's probably not broadcastable, Morgan. Anyway, pleasure as always, buddy. Thanks very much for jumping in. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
And now, a driver that's had a very good night with 2 class wins to his name this evening, Maciej Sakovic. Maciej, it's been a long time since I've interviewed you, my friend, and actually it was last time I spoke to you here where you took 2 wins in my championship at Silverstone, so welcome back.
It's good to be back, to be honest. But yeah, hopefully this season I'll finally give you something new to mention apart from that one championship I won in 2016. That's the goal.
I was going to say, that is the first thing I mentioned, to be honest with you, but it just shows how long we've been at this, mate. What do you make of this car? What do you make of the series? It looked like a great laugh tonight.
Yeah, car, awesome. Series, awesome. I think it's simple as that. The car makes for some fantastic racing. The grids, so close. So unbelievably close, and it's a good bunch of people as well, so the racing's so close and you know that you can race this closely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
And it makes a big difference as a driver, doesn't it, to know that you've got that positive vibe behind you in the championship. You know, even when they all get together in the Discord and talk afterwards about the racing and what's gone on, you know that some of the drivers you'll be racing with, you know, you might bang doors with them or just scrape wing mirrors, but you know they'll be laughing about it as well, don't you? It just adds so much more enjoyment to this sort of racing.
Oh yeah, you can't race these cars and not lose a wing mirror here or there. It's just how you've got to do it.
Well, it looked like a right laugh, Maciej. And the same question goes to you. Is there any track on the calendar that you really fancy this season?
Hockenheim, because Morgan doesn't like it.
I thought that might be the answer, but I'm not surprised, to be honest. Hockenheim always does provide great racing, and I know we'll have a good laugh there. Is there anyone you'd like to give a quick shout out to or a quick thanks to before you go, mate?
You know what? Shout out to Morgan, because you know he was trying to promote himself, but he deserves some external promotion as well. So shout out to him, and shout out to Team Mad as well.
Cracking stuff.
Nice bunch of people.
Oh, they really are. I will always vouch for Team Mad, and you guys are always a good laugh. So thank you very much for jumping in, Maciej, and hopefully I will speak to you again very soon. Well done on the results, mate.
Thank you.
Cheers. And I tell you what, we'll be cheeky actually, and we'll sneak in one more here because we have to. He's driving my team. Ed May for Spontex CDM Esports. Ed, fellow commentator, great friend of mine. You must be beaming after that second race tonight and a strong run of results, really.
Yeah, it is. Thanks for showing me in. Perks of being mates with a broadcaster gets you in these little backdoor routes. But no, thank you very much, mate. And it's been excellent to be a part of this series, this championship. Good to be finally back behind the wheel. I've been spending nearly every single time I've opened iRacing, it's just been to commentate on something. So to get back behind the wheel is good fun. I think it was in the SRM was actually the last time I turned a wheel in Angus. That was quite a ways ago now. But yeah, really good fun. Really chuffed to get the Spontex CDM Esports car, the top step of the AM podium, and also actually I think third place in the other two. If I'm right, was it third or
podiums all night?
Yes, cracking stuff. Really enjoyed it. Didn't expect to be as competitive when I told you, Chaz, just before we were going to be starting that I'd only driven this car today and was driving the wrong layout for most of today as well. So, you know, I'll take it.
Well, it certainly worked out for you in the end, Ed. Same question goes to you, really. Is there any... I mean, well, I'll tell you what, let's change the question. What are your thoughts on Hockenheim?
I love it. We've had some great memories there. I mean, the one that sticks out was Peter Mackay jumping in, and we'll remind you of that one. That was a real laugh. But no, there's been some great races around there. I've really enjoyed myself at that round in the past, and I'm not expecting to be too good because the setups I've been using have all been iRacing high downforce. So we'll see what the low downforce will do, but I'm not holding out too much hope.
Well, just for context, Ed mentions Peter Mackay there. Ed and I were commentating on an endurance race once, which our friend and commentator Peter Mackay was also racing in. We dragged him in for an interview after his stint, and he gave us an overly honest interview with a lot of expletives in it, and it was one of the funniest things I've ever heard live on a broadcast. But yes, you're absolutely right, Ed. Great memories around Hockenheim. It's going to be mega racing, and of course we hope it goes well for you, and I have to try and remain unbiased as you're carrying my branding on the car.
No, don't. Be unbiased. I need it. I need the serotonin. Praise me.
Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before you go, mate?
I'll share the love. You and everyone actually involved in World Sim Racing. There's been some really great races in the past here in the World GT Championship that I've been a part of, and it looks like this one is going to be, well, pretty much more of the same, so looking forward to it.
Lovely job. Well, thanks very much, Ed. Great to speak to you again, mate. Thanks very much for flying the flag for the team, and we'll hopefully see you very soon. There you go then. That is Ed May of Spontex CDM Esports flying the flag for me this season. It's great to have people running these Spontex colours for the year. Alexander Davidson finally takes the win at the end of the night. But wow, what a busy race meeting we had, and what a great introduction this has been to the World GR86 Series. I've been your host, Chaz Draycott. I'll be commentating and broadcasting this entire championship, and hope you will join me for that as well. But for now, everybody, it's goodbye from me, goodbye from World Sim Racing, and goodbye from the World GR86 Series. Good night.
Four French drivers at the French Grand Prix trying to win this on the final lap. The three wide again, Guillaume down the inside. Guillaume moves across, they're both in front of Milan and Pouget.
Before you know it, we find ourselves here in the very final race of the competition.
And then they see truck racing and they think, this is crazy, you know, these are 5-ton machines, 1200 horsepower brake.
Oh, look at that switchback. Oh, you can look and a drift to show off.
Back there, they're on board with Ben Gregory now. I love it. 10.5 minutes gone. Senna Lanson tries to go for the race lead.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.